Today we're going to uncover the secret to 100% VA disability.
Whiskey 9 Yankee 7 November Golf, over.
Claiming secondary conditions is the way to 100% VA disability. Secondary conditions can develop simultaneously with your disabilities. They can develop 1 year, 5 years, 10 plus years down the road, which bears the question, how do you know what secondaries to claim? Here's an example. Let's say you have PTSD. Some symptoms you may experience with PTSD is severe anxiety, severe depression, and random panic attacks when you sleep at night. A common secondary condition to PTSD is sleep apnea. If you have absolute zero medical evidence from your time in service and you try and claim sleep apnea, more likely than not, that claim is going to be denied. However, if you claim sleep apnea secondary to PTSD and you can prove it, then you have a legal argument as to why sleep apnea should be rated. Another common example of secondary conditions comes from lower back pain. If you're rated for lumbar strain, you probably have nerve damage in your lower back, which is going to stem to both of your legs. You can have a rating for radiculopathy in both your right and your left leg. That's 3 ratings total off of 1 rating. You have your lower back rating, you have your left leg and your right leg rating. Here's how you determine if you have a secondary condition or not. This is a perfect time to go ahead and shout out this subreddit, Veteran Benefits. The mods here have done an amazing job at creating a master condition list. It has thousands of disabilities that you can claim with the VA, and when you click that disability, you scroll down, and this is important, but you can see the common secondary conditions to that disability. So the first thing you need to do is understand what you are rated for and what service connected. Then from your service connected disabilities, you need to understand the common secondary conditions of each. For those common secondary conditions, each one of those have symptoms, and this is really important. Now, this is where you need to look at yourself objectively and determine if you experience these symptoms or not. If you do, the very first thing you need to do is make an appointment with your primary care, whether that's through VA healthcare or whether that's through private healthcare. Go ahead and talk to your doctor and express your concerns about these symptoms. So let's go ahead and take sleep apnea. Some common symptoms for sleep apnea are you always feel tired, you're always drowsy, maybe you snore at night, and at night you wake up randomly from panic attacks and you have loss of breath. If you experience any of those symptoms or multiples of those symptoms, you might have sleep apnea. Go ahead and set up an appointment with your doctor. In a very perfect world, when you submit that secondary claim, you already have a diagnosis in your medical records and you understand how the VA rates that condition. Knowing those 2 things is going to help you be more prepared walking through that door of the CMP examiner. In some cases, and it really depends, but you might want to consider an independent medical opinion and a private DBQ, Disability Benefits Questionnaire. In my experience, the more medical evidence you support that supports your claim, the better off you're going to be. One last thing about secondary conditions is you have to understand if it's worth it. What I mean by that is if you're rated at 87%, we know that's rounded up to 90. If for some reason you want to claim tinnitus, we know that tinnitus is at 10%. If you are awarded that 10% for tinnitus, your final rating is still going to be 90%. Meaning the end result is going to be the same. You want to be very careful about poking that VA bear. You want to make sure that claim is going to be considered a high valuable claim, and the end result is your overall percentage is going to increase, making it worth it. If this video helped you and you think it would help other veterans, go ahead and give TheCivDiv a like, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on all things veteran benefits. This is Clay Sims with TheCivDiv, and thank you for your time.